Hey, you there. Put that dilsey down. Come on. We all know you're not beating it. Move on. Close the game. Listen to me for a minute. Let me tell you about Sekiro and why you should play that again. Anyways, I'm sure a lot of you have played this game already. It's been out for a little bit. Oh my god, 5 years. Holy, I'm getting old. Anyways, this game's been out for a bit now. Everyone kind of knows it. There was a bit of controversy about how difficult it was. Whatever. No, don't listen to them. It's a great game. Anyways, Sekiro as a game has probably some of the best skill progression I have ever seen out of games in general. This game forces you to get good, like the other Souls games, but this one I feel like is very strict with the get good. There's no different builds that can help you. It's just kind of go in there, use my combat system, and you better fucking learn it, or else you're gonna be in for a terrible time. But anyways, I played the game again after, you know, getting my ass beat. Oh fuck. Anyways, on to the actual video. General rundown of the story of the game, gonna be as broad as possible here. You play as a shinobi who works for the quote-unquote divine heir, who is a child who has inherited immortality. There's a lot of immortality themes in this game. Get it? Sekiro, shadows die twice. Anyways, you have to protect this child from a lot of bad guys, so that's gonna be like your main bosses of the series, whatever. Then this child eventually decides that he doesn't want to be immortal anymore, so now you need to go hunt down immortality for this stupid child, and you have to kill immortality itself. Yeah, I think this child is asking for quite a lot, but that's what you do in this game. Alright, now that that's taken care of, I want to talk about the main point of this video is how replayable is this game. I played through it 4 or 5 times, and as we all know, the Dark Souls and Elden Ring series are very, very replayable because of how many builds you can do, but this game's very different because this game doesn't have builds and stuff. So how replayable is it, honestly? And my answer for that is, I think this game's still relatively replayable. Every single time you're fighting, it feels like you're learning. Every time I do the Genichiro fight, I feel like I'm getting better at that fight. There's some fights where I just, like, suck at, in general. Like, I wouldn't consider myself very good at the Folding Screen Monkeys fight, even though that's not really much of a fight. Also, the Guardian Ape's not very fun. But like other fights, like Lady Butterfly, that's a super fucking cool fight, and every single time you do it, it just somehow magically feels better. Same with Owl Father. That fight just magically gets better every single time you do it, and every single time you like fail at it, it's gonna feel better. So this game is actually, in that sense, relatively replayable. So you know what that means? That means you gotta go play the game now. Alright, so for this next section, I'm going to do something a bit different from my other videos. And I'm just going to start listing off the bosses and the areas they're involved with. And I'm just going to start ranking them on a little tier list because, well, I want to, and this is my video. First boss in the game, you're going to fight Gyobo Oniwa. He's very iconic. He's a very loud boy, and he's a horse. Fucking amazing arena. It's such a cool battlefield, and it's great for a horseback fight, but like, he doesn't just run away from you. Like, this guy actually wants to brawl with you. It's a super fun fight, and I may have died on it once, which is kind of embarrassing because it's actually a relatively easy fight. Oh my god, no way, I just died to Gyobo. What? That doesn't usually happen, I swear to god. But this fight is pretty solid. I think we're gonna put him, Gyobo can be put in a B tier. Gyobo's pretty good there. Next up on the block is Lady Butterfly. She is a super fun fight. She really is like the first initial skill check you'll find in the game that forces you to break her posture instead of just damaging her to death. She has a super fun fight. She has a super cool arena. The Hirata estate in general is also super cool. It's an optional area, but like you'll typically fight her after you fight Gyobo. And all around, this fight is just absolutely amazing. It teaches you about snap seeds, it teaches you about blocking and parrying, it shows you the ropes. It's amazing. I think this is an S tier fight. Time for the end of early game. Next boss on our list is Genichiro. No, not from the beginning. We're fighting him again. Yeah, it's rematch time, baby. I don't think I died in this fight, actually. What? Yeah, I don't think so. I think I got it on the first try. It's the same guy you fight in the intro. Except now he has a third phase where he shoots lightning, and he's a little bit psycho. Yeah, but other than that, it's pretty much the same fight. It's a really solid fight. Being at the top of the tower is always a very good arena. You can't really go wrong with it. I think the moveset's a little bit bland, and he's also very cheesable. I didn't show it in my clips, but he's very cheesable. But I think he's a solid fight. Let's put him in A tier. That fits. Alright, now we're on to what I would like to call mid-game, and also on to probably my least favorite fight of the entire game, if you can even call it a fight. It's the folding screen monkeys. It's basically just a gimmick battle. You have to find the 4 monkeys, but like, you're just chasing the little monkeys around, and it is so boring and mildly tedious. If you don't know what you're doing, of course. There's a strat to, like, get them all perfectly, and they all have their own little gimmicks to catch them, but, like, it's just annoying, and it takes too long, and this is what I never really want to do. Ever. So, I think it's earned its D tier placement. And our next boss on the list is probably one of the most infamous bosses in this entire game. And it's also part of the reason why me and my friends like to call this section of the game Ape Escape, because not only were we fighting folding screen monkeys, we're now fighting a guardian ape, and spoiler warning, you also fight the same guardian ape again later in the game. Anyways, not much to say about the fight. It's a really cool fight with a cool gimmick where it makes you think that you actually won, and then it comes back to life again with a completely different moveset with a sword now. It's a really cool fight, and again, the arena is just beautiful. The Sunken Valley is amazing with all the monkeys. And honestly, I think that this fight deserves absolutely no less than A tier. It is truly a very good fight in the series. Alright, next boss. This is the first of 2 fights you have with the Corrupted Monk. It's the fake one, so fake monk, I suppose. But this one is a whole lot less interesting than the second one you'll fight later. It has 1 life. It's a weird fight where it's like a ghost, so Divine Confetti is recommended. Has a very simple moveset. It's decently fun in the way where like it's very like rhythmic and entertaining to play. But I can't really say too much about it. Like, it's just kind of a boring fight. Later in the game, the second fight gets a lot better, but this fight's just kind of stale. So I'm just gonna put it in C tier. So, next up is the last boss of mid-game, or the last boss of the game in general if you do a certain ending, but I didn't do that ending. This is the Owl, and there's actually 2 fights for the Owl in the series, but I didn't do the second one because I simply forgot about it, but that one's way better than this one. But I'm only gonna talk about this one here. This fight's very cool in the way of it shows the Owl's character as a shitty person, because all of the things he does are like annoying and like backstabby. Like, they're ninja things. Like, it restricts your healing, he throws poison at you, he throws shurikens at you, tries to backstab you. It just shows him that he's a shitty person, and I think the fight does that very well, but the moveset is a little bit stale for this fight, of course. The second fight fixes that, but I think his moveset's pretty stale. It's pretty easy to deal with once you learn it. So I think this version of the Owl is a solid B tier fight. So, we're into the endgame bosses now. First one you fight is immediately when you get in the Fountainhead Palace. It's the second fight for the Corrupted Monk. And this fight for the Corrupted Monk improves vastly on the first one. This one is so much better, and even when I was replaying it and I beat it first try, it was still such a fun fight. None of the moves really feel gimmicky and annoying. It's really clean. It still has the really fast flow of like movement on the Corrupted Monk's attacks. The arena itself looks amazing, and I use it as one of my back rooms, as you'll see here. Mwah! Chef's kiss. This fight is beautiful. Not quite S tier though. Want to save that for the best of the best. I think this fight's a solid A tier. Now, I have a lot to say about this fight, but I'll try to keep it about the same length as every other one. This is the Divine Dragon, which I'm sure you've all seen before in screenshots or something. This is the gimmick fight of the series, and man, this is the most visually appealing fight in the entire game. It is a beautiful fight, a beautiful arena, but sadly, it is the gimmick fight. So, the actual gameplay of the fight isn't the best, especially the first phase. The first phase is terrible and knocks it down a couple points just on its own from existing. But the second phase, I guess, it's pretty cool having to grapple up and, you know, strike back with lightning against the dragon. But I honestly, as cool as this fight is, cannot rank it higher than B tier. I think B tier is safe for it. So we finally made it to the final boss of the series. The final boss is a bit different from the other bosses in this game, where it has 4 lives. You have to put this bastard down 4 times. It's crazy. And it also includes 2 characters. The fight starts with Genichiro. You put him down for once and for all. And then Ishin, Prime Ishin, comes out and starts kicking your ass. And Ishin has a different phase for each one of his lives that he has, because he has 3. He has his sword phase, which is pretty standard. It's pretty cool. I like it. He kicks your ass with that. Then he pulls out the spear phase. He has a spear and a gun now for whatever fucking reason. He has a gun. And I think that's the hardest phase of the fight. And then there's a third phase. He keeps the spear and gun, but like now he just starts wielding lightning. Just because like he feels like it. And it just leads for such an epic battle. I fucking love it so much. The arena's amazing. The build-up's amazing. I literally cannot put this fight anywhere but in S tier. This is the best fight in the game. Alright, so that's my list of the bosses that I fought upon replaying them. Now, it's definitely different from like my first experience playing these bosses. Like I think I remember enjoying the Divine Dragon a lot more. Oh, and since I did leave out some bosses because I just simply don't have footage of them, I did take the liberty of putting them in the final tier list. So here you go. The ones I missed were the Owl Father, which is the new S tier fight. That one's fucking amazing, and I might just have to make a short about talking about that one. The other one's the Ishin from the Shura ending. That one's pretty solid fight. That one's really good. I like it. And the other one I missed was, oh right, the Demon of Hatred. Yeah, he's an interesting boss fight. It's definitely probably the most difficult boss in the game, I think. But that's the list. That's the end of it. No, I didn't talk much about the areas and stuff. This is kind of just ended up being a tier list, which I'm not too mad about. That's what I wanted to focus on, because when you're playing these games, honestly, I mean, the areas and enemies are cool and stuff, but like the bosses is the main attraction for me. I need good bosses in a good Souls-like. If the bosses are not good, I'm not gonna like the game. Anyways, that's enough yapping out of me. Point of this video, should you replay Sekiro? Absolutely. It does lose a little bit of its value after the 11th time including New Game Plus, but it's still a great game and you should go give it another shot after the Elden Ring DLC, of course. Ah, you motherfucker! And that's all I have for this video, so thanks for watching.